In this video, we are going to work on writing a sample answer for this IELTS Writing Task 1 academic map question. We'll discuss how to plan the answer, use varied vocabulary, and introduce a variety of sentence structures to create a high scoring response. Let's start planning. During planning, I'll use these abbreviations that you can see on screen. MR for main road, D1 and D2 for the two dogs, and so on. We cannot use these abbreviations in writing. They are only for ease of planning. The focus of map questions is to compare the two maps. So we primarily focus on the similarities and differences between the two maps. Besides focusing on similarities and differences, there are a few other approaches you can keep in mind when tackling map questions in IELTS Writing Task 1 academic. Sometimes it helps to divide the map into sections: north, south, east, west, and central. We will be doing so in this map because there are a lot of elements in this map. It will be easier to understand and write about the map if we divide it into sections. So we'll be dividing it into north, south, and west. You can also organize your response by grouping elements based on their functions: recreational, residential, commercial, etc. This approach emphasizes on the purpose of each element, and it is especially helpful when writing the overall statement. Now we start noting down the similarities and differences in the map. We start with the north. In the north, what is the same between the two maps is the public beach and one of the docks. So we have written these two under what has remained the same. The difference is that a new dock has been constructed. Next, we move on to the south. In the south, the two things which are completely unchanged are the road and a lifeboat station. However, the road has a new branch, which is something we have mentioned in the changes. The castle has been changed into a hotel. The public beach is now a private beach, and cafes and shops have been constructed. With this, we are done with the north and the south. We are only left with the west part of the map. In the west, the main road, the two car parks, and these showers and toilets remain the same. The changes are a new exit in the main road, one more location of showers and toilets, and the fishing boats and the marina have changed places. Where marina used to be, now we have fishing boats, and vice versa. Now that we understand the map, we can try to divide the different elements of the map according to their functions. The roads, car parks, and the showers and the toilets fall under the category of public infrastructure. For marine transportation infrastructure, we can mention the additional dock. For commercial and accommodation, we have the new hotel which has replaced the castle, and even the cafes and shops can fall under the category of commercial, but they are also under the category of recreational areas, along with the two beaches, the public beach and the private beach from the second map. For the overall statement, we look for the most notable similarities and differences. The most notable similarity is the main road, along with the basic amenities such as car park and the showers and toilets, and maybe even the public beach that we have in the north. The most notable change is the new hotel that is constructed and the cafes and shops that are constructed along with the new dock. So, these are some of the points we can try to include in the overall statement. Before we move on, let's quickly glance at some synonyms which will help us in writing. First, synonyms of some of the words in the question, right from how we can mention the year in many different ways to synonyms for the word today and the phrase how it looks today. We can change it to its current appearance or as it appears now, etc. There are a lot of places mentioned in the maps that we have. Do not change the names unless the meaning is exactly the same. It is always better to leave the names of places and the categories in the graph and the maps that you have as it is until and unless you are 100% sure that the meaning will not change with any changes you make. So, in this case, these are some of the changes that I feel I can make. Instead of car park, I can write parking lot. For public beach, I can write beach open to the general public. Fishing boats can be written as fishing vessels. But most of the names of the places I will leave as it is in my writing. Here is some vocabulary you can use when writing about map comparisons. Different ways to say that something has stayed the same, or it has changed a little, or one thing has replaced the other. For example, the hotel has replaced the disused castle, and many other such verbs that you may need to describe the changes that has taken place. Here are some more words which can help you in writing about any changes that have taken place, anything new that has been constructed, the similarities and differences, etc. Let's now talk about the format of our writing. We start our writing with paraphrasing of the question. That is, we write the question in different words. Then we mention the overall statement. We've already discussed the basic contents of the overall statement when we were planning our writing. After that, we write the body paragraphs. For maps, there are two different ways to handle this. One way is that you compare the two maps. You start by giving out the details of similarities and differences between the two maps. And as you are doing it, you discuss both the maps simultaneously. Another way to write this is that you first briefly describe one map, then you start giving the details of similarities and differences. This method helps to establish a baseline. It gives you a starting point. However, it can only work. We will be following this approach for the writing we do in this video. Let's now start the writing. First, we paraphrase the question. The original question we have is, the plans below show a harbor in 2000 and how it looks today. We will not be using the word below in paraphrasing because when we are writing, the map is not below our writing. The rest of it we will paraphrase. There are many different ways of paraphrasing. One approach is that you write synonyms of the words and phrases in the question. This is something you do with every other paraphrasing technique as well. So, in this paraphrasing that you see on screen, the maps illustrate the changes in Porth Harbour from the year 2000 to its current appearance. We have changed the plans show to the maps illustrate. We have changed a harbour to Porth Harbour. This name we have taken from the titles in the map. How it looks today has been changed to its current appearance. Here is another way to paraphrase the question. Here we have made some changes in the sentence structure by using this phrase, how Porth Harbour has changed. And there are some synonyms that we have used as well. In this case, we have used passive voice to paraphrase the question. This paraphrasing uses some advanced vocabulary with words like evolution and configuration. So, these are a few different ways to paraphrase the question. The aim is that we should avoid repeating the words that are used in the question. Choose whichever style works best for you. Once we are done with the paraphrasing, we start with the overall statement, which is a concise overview of the key changes and similarities between the two maps. This is the complete planning that we have. For overall statement, we will primarily focus on the most notable similarities and differences with a mention of the function of these elements as well. Here are four different ways to write overall statement. All of them focus on very similar things. The reason I've given you four different overall statements is to give you an idea of how you can use different connectors to write contrast, how you can use different phrases such as significant redevelopment or significantly revamped, phrases which have similar meanings to improve your writing. So basically, what we say in our overall statement is that the harbor has seen major commercial development such as addition of a hotel and shops. Key features like the public beach and car park have remained unchanged. Once we are done with the paraphrasing and the overall statement, we start with the body paragraphs. First, we will briefly describe the first map. The 2000 layout of Porth Harbour featured a main road extending from northern to southern extremities, connecting vital amenities such as car park and marina. To the north, a dock and a public beach were situated, while the southern area housed another beach, an abandoned castle, and a lifeboat station. The term northern to southern extremities refers to a road stretching vertically from top to bottom, from north to south. If the road would have been like this, we would have written from west to east extremities. Instead of this, we can also use phrases like spanning from the north end to the south end, stretching vertically from the north to the south, or a main road that runs from the north to the south. Now we start with the comparison. To structure the writing properly, we will write about one part of the map at a time. So we will start with the north. In the north, we have a public beach which remains the same, a dock which remains the same, and a new dock has been constructed. That's what we are going to write. Since then, that is since 2000, in the northern part of the Porth Harbour, the public beach has remained unchanged from its position in 2000. However, an additional dock has been constructed near the existing one, expanding the facilities for passenger ferries. Next, we'll write about the west. The reason I've chosen to do so is that the south has a lot of content. So I'll put that in a separate paragraph. The north and west I'll put in one paragraph. In the western section, the car parks have remained unchanged, ensuring continued access for visitors arriving by road. However, the larger car park is now accessible directly from the main road, unlike in 2000 when it was accessed via a secondary road branch. Showers and toilets have also been added next to the larger car park, enhancing the facilities available for visitors. Lastly, the marina and the fishing boat station have swapped locations, likely to better organize the harbor's maritime activities. In this part of the writing, I have mentioned the function of almost all the changes or similarities. This is something you don't necessarily need to write in your writing. So, this part about ensuring continued access, enhancing the facilities available to visitors, likely to better organize the maritime activities. These three parts are a mention of the purpose of the various amenities. These do improve your writing, but you can choose not to write them if you want. Now we are done with the north and the west. We are just left with the south. Let's write about it. Moving to the southern region, the disused castle has been demolished and replaced by a hotel, signifying a substantial redevelopment. Additionally, the public beach in the south, which was previously accessible to everyone, has now become a private area exclusively for hotel guests. New cafes and shops have also been constructed next to the lifeboat station, creating additional commercial facilities for visitors. Furthermore, a new road branch now extends directly to the hotel, while the previous road to the lifeboat station remains intact with an additional extension. With this, we are done with this writing. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. Comment below if you have any questions or need further help with your IELTS writing. See you in the next video. All the very best.